The economy is headed for stagflation, but this time it's different, and I'm telling you how to crush it. Listen up, folks. America's economy is grinding to a freaking halt. GDP slumped to a pathetic 1.6% in 2025. Inflation, well, that ticked up to 2.8%, with housing costs exploding 4.1% just this year. And the Fed rate, well, that's stuck like glue between 4.25 and 4.5, and it's not seeming to budge an inch. And that's stagflation staring you in the face. Sluggish growth, skyrocketing prices, and borrowing costs that kick you in the teeth. But here's the real kick in the butt. This isn't the 1970s with oil crisis and 12% inflation and crap. No, it's 2025, and it's all about that massive 4.7 million homes that we're short in America right now, locking people out, jacking up rents, and then you've got the people with the 3% mortgages that can never sell. But if you're in real estate, this crap could destroy your portfolio or hand you the biggest frickin' opportunity of your life with fire sales and hidden gems that actually cash flow. So stick with me, because the reset is coming, and I'm gonna give you a no BS playbook to turn this mess into your $1 million empire. Let's get after it. All right, here's what we're smashing through in the next few minutes. If there's one thing I've learned in this game, when the economy flips sideways and everybody's crying in their beer, the real players, the disciplined ones, they make their moves, while the weak, they get wiped out. It's time to level up or get left behind. Stagflation is the ultimate gut punch. The economy stalls out, GDP dips below 2%, like Doylette is calling for 1.4 for 2025, and inflation hangs on like a bad habit. It's at 2.8% as of July from Trading Economics. Unemployment creeping to 4.5% by year end, spending tanks, but prices for the real stuff, well, housing rents are up 4.1% through June. Per the Treasury, energy and labor are staying jacked because of the supply chain BS and the global drama that's going on. And what you're asking yourself this, why now? Well, it's because we printed trillions of dollars post-pandemic, lit the inflation fire, feds have jacked rates to put it out, but growth is rebounding like a drunken idiot. Quarter 2 at 3.3%, but a full year at 1.6%. From the Conference Board says slow down city. Labor shortages pumping wages 3 to 4% a year. Yeah, the system's screwing the middle class hard, but it isn't Armageddon. It's a slow roast from the crappy politics like delayed rate cuts. Look, for you investors, this is prime time for distressed deals. Spot the cracks now or get crushed later. Get real, people. Get into action. Look, if you want a straight up blueprint to flip stagflation into massive wins, I've dropped a free guide, The Investor's Playbook for High Inflation and Low Growth Markets. Smash that link below and snag your copy right now. It's the line between your cash evaporating like smoke or your wealth exploding like a rocket. How is a massive housing shortage reshaping this cycle? Well, let's go back to the 70s when stagflation was driven by oil madness, with inflation at 12% and zero backup. Today, it's housing that's dropping the hammer. An insane 4.7 million unit shortage per Zillow in their July breakdown of 2025, or even 7.1 million affordable ones missing according to NLIHC. Look, this flips the script because builders tossed in 1.5 million units last year, but millennials and immigration are eating supply alive, keeping inventory at rock bottom lows, under the 4 months supply that Realtor.com says the last 10 years is a normal number. But unlike the old days, we're underbuilt for over a decade. The post-2008 crash cut construction in half, baking in this mess. And inflation is glued to shelter costs at about 35% of CPI, and the rates stay elevated to fight it because the Fed somehow thinks that they're helping. And the growth, it just simply fizzles without easy money for flips and building new stuff. But here's the real twist. The market is frozen solid because sales are down 30% from pre-2025 highs for JP Morgan. But that's birthing killer bargains from over-leveraged sellers. This stagflation is different because housing isn't just an investment. It's the weak link, turning this into a wealth grab from the dummies to the doers. Wake up and win in this economy. Look, in stagflation, the weak deals die first, but rentals become the safety net, and hard assets like like bricks and land, and then cash flow are what holds the real deals together and gives you absolute power. Rates at 4.25 to 4.5 and mortgages hovering around 6.5. Cheap money's dead and buried. So adapt or die trying. Pivot to cash flow beasts. Hunt multifamily rentals in hot zones like the Southeast, the Northwest. Snag 7 to 9 cap rates and 3% yearly rent bumps, even in this slowdown. And boom, look, you yank 150 grand out of your home on an equity line, you put 30% down on a $500,000 property, and you pull $4 grand a month gross. After 25% expenses and $2,100 in debt payments at 6%, you're netting $800 a month to the positive, and that's a straight inflation hedge. Ditch the flip games. Lock in buy and hold with the 1% rent rule. Rent hits 1% of the price. You know the rule, guys. Hack it with taxes, 20% bonus depreciation on inflation, and now a $400,000 basis saves you 80 grand in year one at a 25% bracket. That's 20 grand back in your pocket. And in stagflation, leverage like a boss. Cap DTI at 36%. Test at 8% interest rates. The rental rules cause inflation to eat cash, but they pump the assets. 3% appreciation on a $500,000 asset, that's going to hit 580 grand in value in less than 5 years, banking you 104 grand in profit after your loan payoff. Hard assets dominate because flat money is absolute trash. Target markets with a 2% job growth and dodge the vacancy bombs. Get in or get out. We know the government is going to meddle and twist the market into a pretzel. I mean, look at the Harris-Biden vibes. $25,000 buyer credits or rent caps or property pipelines just killed deals all over. But they juiced prices because stuff is not coming in the pipeline. Now we're being tanked by an undersupply in all over the United States. And the Fed, well, they're just dragging their feet. No September rate cut? Well, that's a 50-50 shot per Morgan Stanley. And if rates stick, the foreclosures spike up to as high as 20% in some weak areas. So to crush it, go defensive. Stack 6 to 12 months reserves, spread into 2 or 3 unit multifamilies for cash flow killers, and scoop up undervalued gold in shortage-heavy cities, Atlanta or Phoenix, with 500,000 plus unit gap over what the housing need really is. Use HUD's housing indicator to stay sharp. Own the decade by buying in the panic, because stagflation resets will dish you 20 to 30% discount historically, and discipline is definitely the key. Don't do dumb leverage. Chasing a 10% ROI after inflation, those are the winners, and winners treat real estate like a war machine, not a hobby. So if you want to scale it to 10 units or more, maybe look at a syndication. While the losers are dumping cheap, you can get positioned with real operators that are going to allow you to have power plays for the next decade. So position now to dominate forever. All right, guys, here's the no BS takeaway. Stagflation is barreling in, but this ain't the 70s. It's exploding in a housing market that's starved and overpriced as hell. Not every deal is going to survive. You got to have cash flow that pays the bills, smart debt that doesn't choke you, and markets with real hungry demand. Because in stagflation, average Joes, well, they get demolished, but the disciplined, they become beasts. They rewrite the rules and own the game. Now, if you want to know exactly how to bulldoze through this storm, smash the link right here, because this ain't some wimpy dip. It's a full-on reset. And resets, they mint millionaires, or they bury the broke. So let's go get it.